I got about a 5-minute drive to where I work, my second job. And so let's talk a little bit about social emotional learning. So social emotional learning, you're targeting 5 things. You're trying to teach skills around 5 areas: social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision making, self-awareness, and self-management, right? And so if we're doing these lessons, they can't just be a quick 10-minute, we're going to see how everyone's feeling. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? You actually have to be intentional on sitting down, taking time, talking to each other, asking questions, not just surface questions, talking about some skills, using some examples that have been happening in your classroom. I mean, there's always things that are happening at recess. So using those as social scenarios, modeling, practicing, and then carrying it through the day. So if you're talking about growth mindset in the morning lesson, in your lessons for SEL, then repeat it, mention it in math, mention it in reading. School is challenging. School is challenging for a lot of our students. And so making sure that we are using SEL and talking about it throughout the day is what makes it impactful. It's what makes it, oh, it does mean something. Oh, our students start seeing those connections of how they can apply it to everyday life and their everyday routine, and their interactions with each other and with teachers. And so the reason why we're targeting those skills, those 5 things: social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision making, self-management, and self-awareness, is so that it can benefit our school day. And how does it benefit that? Well, it helps our relationships, right? That's one area. Helps with the relationships between our students and between the adults, like the adult with the student. It helps with decreasing stress, because our babies are already stressed as it is during the day at home, whatever they're absorbing from adults around them. And so we relieve that stress by talking about emotions and talking about how math can be hard sometimes, and then perseverance and how to go through it. And then in the end, if we are having these conversations, it should impact academics, because how are we going to complete a hard task if we don't have the confidence to do it, if we don't think our teachers really believe in us because they don't have a relationship with us? And so it really is beneficial to the overall classroom. And so I brought it up quickly because I feel like I have to bring it up, SEL, with our students, because these skills also apply to teachers. And I already got here, so let me park really quick. The reason why I want to bring it up is because I talked a little bit about the practices, behaviors that are rooted in white supremacy from administration. Okay, so we take that out. Now we're teaching SEL to our students. Okay, so now we're doing that. The next step is SEL for teachers, and I prefer saying SEL for teachers because we already took self-care and added this toxic positivity, and it's used against us, and it's kind of used as like our fault that we're going through all these things that are happening in schools, all this traumatic things, policies that are in place through the school systems, right? And so I prefer not using self-care, even though I'm the self-care queen. But the next step, the third step, would be teacher self-care. And so I'm at work. I'm gonna pause here, and then I think the next video is going to be on teacher SEL. And what does that look like?